Test the 1 2. 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 What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Wiley Show. You guys, if you all can hear me, press 1 in the chat. We are live. I just want to say, personally, I want to say thank you to all the producers that were like calling me and saying that you should go live. And one of the main topics that you all want to hear about is the passing of a rapper named Black Rob. Did I get that rapper's name correct? Black Rob passed away, and everybody on YouTube, everybody on my YouTube family wanted me to talk about it. And so Black Rob passes away, and I was getting, it was like, oh my gosh, with Black Rob. People were saying that they blamed Diddy and that Diddy did him so wrong and that he did not do a good job. And with him, that he pretty much didn't give him a good contract, and he pretty much robbed Black Rob. So it was a lot. So I was listening to Black Rob music. Let me be honest with you. I don't know too much of a Black Rob music. Okay, I don't. So I was listening to Roll. I was listening to some of his music, and he get me like he was like a lyricist into like crime, give you like different crime stories. In my humble opinion, what I got from Black Rob music. So I was listening to Woe, and many people was like, they were blaming P. Diddy. They were blaming Diddy. They was like, Diddy is the reason why he's gone. And I was like, no, I don't blame Diddy. And let me tell you why I do not blame Diddy and the death of Black Rob. First and foremost, when you sign a contract of a record contract, you sign a contract and you're supposed to read the contract. If you do not read the contract and you do not read it properly or get an attorney, that is your fault. That is not Diddy's fault. So I want to say it again. If you sign with Bad Boy Records and you sign a bad deal with Bad Boy Records, that's on you. That's not on Diddy. Okay? He is the man that's going to make sure he make a profit, and you supposed to be the man that's supposed to have a good good advantage of your good attorney looking over the contract, in my humble opinion. So I'm not going to blame Diddy for Black Rob bad decisions that he made. And also Black Rob, I heard that he's supposed to take dialysis and that he was refusing to get on dialysis. He was refusing for them to put a needle inside of him, according to Diddy, former bodyguard. So I'm just giving my humble opinion, and we will open up the phone lines, and we will allow you all to come to call in. But again, I don't blame Diddy at all concerning this. I don't blame him. I feel like this is something where you should just blame yourself, because I don't blame Diddy. I don't. Many people was like blaming him. I had one producer to say, Wiley, you don't understand. He took advantage of a lot of people on Bad Boy Records. And I was like, of course, well, if you want to say that, well, then it is what it is. But in my humble opinion, I feel as though Black Rob have nobody to blame but himself for the decisions, that he made. In my humble opinion, I'm gonna say that again. In my humble opinion, it's just my humble opinion on the entire situation. Okay, many people were saying Diddy should pay for the funeral. Now I heard that they're doing I heard that they're going to have a GoFundMe for the funeral. That's sad. You're supposed to have burial insurance. You're supposed to have life insurance. So if you don't have any life insurance, that's your fault. That's not Diddy's fault. If you got to come around and do all of this and people got to raise money, that's your fault. That is not Diddy's fault. That's your failure to not have life insurance. Why did your family put you in there? Why didn't you get it? Okay. So I just feel as though a lot of people is blaming Diddy, and I'm on the side of why blame him. You took a contract, you signed that deal, you did not put no money away. What happened to your show money? Did you put some of your show money away? Did you do that? Or did you just blow it all up? Or did you just blow it completely? So it's just in my humble opinion. They say he could have helped with playing. Listen, Bad Boys had so many so many artists on this label. If we had that narrative that he should have paid for his medical bills, that means he should have paid for this person medical bills, that person medical bills. It was a lot of people that were signed with Bad Boy. Some made it, some did not make it. Okay, some made it, some did not make it. But that means that if you're talking about signing or paying for someone's medical bills, that means that opens the Pandora's box, pay for everybody's medical bills, and that's unfair to Diddy. That's unfair to him. You supposed to make sure you have health insurance. You supposed to make sure you have life insurance. You supposed to make sure that your finances in order. And that's why when you sign these contracts, you have to have the right entertainment lawyer. I'm gonna say it again. You have to have the right entertainment lawyer. Okay, period, point blank. Now, I will open up the phone lines and I'll allow you all to call in and cuss me out probably, or probably say, I don't know what I'm talking about. But if I sign a bad deal, that's on me. That's not on the record label. If I sign a bad deal, that is on me, not the record label. Did I say that correctly? I just want to say it right then and there. Now, what we will do is press 1 if you think Diddy should pay for the funeral. Press 2 if you believe Diddy do not owe Black Rob anything. Press 1 if you think that Diddy should pay for the funeral. Press 2 if you believe that Diddy should not do anything, should not pay for anything. Let's see in here. Press 1 if you think Diddy should pay for the funeral for Black Rob. Press 2 if you think that Diddy should not pay for anything. Okay, and I agree with somebody saying no, he needed life insurance. He needed life insurance. That's exactly what he needed. In my humble opinion. Okay, and when things get tough, get a regular 9 to 5. Get you a YouTube channel. Why did he get a YouTube channel? So I'm not trying to blame him. I do say rest in peace. He was an amazing rapper. I did listen to some of his music, but I'm just getting on here and just giving my opinion. I'm just giving my opinion, and I know some of y'all not going to like it, but I'm just going to give my opinion concerning the matter. And I know some people are like, "Ooh, Wiley, where your heart?" Where my heart is, I'm just using common sense. Now, let's imagine. Okay, they were young, they were uneducated, they didn't know what they were signing. Once again, that's on them. You all want this to be a perfect world. It is a such thing called as predators, and then you have prey. So that's why it's so important to get an entertainment lawyer to look over the contract. I'm going to say it again. All you people that signing these deals, it's very important that you protect yourself. And if you don't do it, that's on you, not on the label. All right? That's on you, not on the label. All right? A job I had 20 years ago is not going to pay me now. Facts. And this is what they want. I'm like, what job you know that you had 20 years ago that's going to pay for your funeral, that's going to pay your medical bill? What job you know do that? And please sign me up because I want to be a part of that job. What job you know that is going to pay for your stuff 20, that's going to pay for your stuff, let's be perfectly clear. What job do you know that's going to do that? I'll wait. I'm going to wait. I'll wait. Let me see. I'll wait. Let me see what they're going to say in the chat. Okay? They never had any guidance. How can we blame them? Again, like I'm doing, I'm blaming them now. But the old job is still profiting off their work. Well, again, that's just this wrong. That is just this wrong thing. And that's just my opinion. That is just, it's just literally my opinion when it comes to that. It's just my opinion. And y'all can say what y'all opinion is. And I said what I said. He ain't got to pay for that. Child, he was with Bad Boy Records back 20 years ago. 20 years ago, he was with Bad Boy. Over 20-some years ago, he signed with Bad Boy. So what the world are we talking about here? What the world are we talking about? He should have had his affairs in order. Now, I am praying for him, praying for the family. Losing someone, it is something. When you lose someone, it does something to you. And I understand it. But why don't y'all put y'all money together and pay for his funeral? Okay? Let's go ahead on. Child, now why don't you put your coins together and pay for his funeral? Go in your pocketbook and pay for. Go in your pocketbook and pay for his funeral right now. Go in your pocketbook and pay. You want Diddy to pay for his funeral? Why don't you pay for it? Go in your pocketbook, reach down in your purse, reach down in your wallet, and you pay for it. Now we will have people to come up on here and talk about Wiley, you don't understand all the facts. And I don't. I don't understand all the facts. Because 20 some years ago, I was about what, 10 years old? So I don't know. Okay. Okay. So I don't know all the details. So we're gonna move on to the next story. And I know some of y'all are just upset. So on my IG page, on my Instagram page, I just uploaded a video. It's a 6-year-old girl that was killed. Now, mind you, her father, it was after the father. And they shot, he was in the McDonald drive-thru. And the little girl lost her life. She was 6 years old. I'm hearing from boots on the ground that the father was actually in the gang, and it was also gang related. But the 6-year-old, died, and it's just so unfortunate. So if you all want to see that clip of the community going off, you could definitely see that. Let me see if I can find Jamal. Let me see if I can find Jamal Green. Give me a second. If I can find what he wrote. Give me a second. Okay, I want y'all to see this because one of my friends that's an activist, he wrote this on his page. Okay, let's see that. He wrote on here, another baby has just been killed in Chicago. My heart is hurting watching them pull the baby out of the car. Our kids are dying like this every day. When will we address this like we did COVID? As I did for the last baby, I'm committing $5,000 for answers. Step forward, please. And that was a 6-year-old girl killed, father shot while sitting at a McDonald's drive-thru in Holman Square. So that was on the west side of Chicago. And we are definitely praying for the family and that justice being served. But again, the community have to work with the police by getting them in order. The community is going to have to work with the police. I'm going to say it again. The community is going to have to work with them. The community going to have to work with the police and go ahead on and work with the police and get this person who did it, and they're going to have to serve some time for what they did. I'm going to say it again. The community are going to have to work with the cops. I know I got some people in here, and I say that humbly. The community is going to have to work with the police when concerning of this. Yeah. Do they have any leads? As of right now, they don't have any leads. Right now, it was rumored that the person was in the gang. That's what the word on the street. That they was after the father, and the father is injured, but they don't have any leads of it yet. Nope. As of right now, they don't have any leads, but we are praying, and we will keep y'all updated on this as soon as I get more information. I could just reach out to people in Chicago, and this happened on the west side of Chicago. And if you want to see the video, I have it on my page of them pulling out the 6-year-old out of the car and put him in a squad car. So I have that on my Instagram page right now. Okay, so y'all saw that. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely praying for the family. Definitely. That is a tragedy, y'all. That is a that's really rough, man. That is rough. Definitely praying for her. Somebody shot 11-year-old in my city. This war is crazy. It is. It's very crazy. It is. Who wants to see that? Smile. I'm sorry for the loss of the child. It's very sad and scary. Very sad. And I just want people to understand, like, is this going to get the same outrage, or when a police take a life of a black person, which is nothing wrong with us protesting that. But I wonder, will we give this incident, this tragedy, the same energy, the same anger that we give when someone took the life of when a police take a life? I want to know, will we give this the same energy? I honestly believe that. Will we give it the same energy? And I say that humbly. Will we give it the same energy? No rules of the Grammy game. Yes, you facts. And it's they said she said 11 more. Yes, 11 more. No rules. And when you're in this gang, and this is something parents, mothers, particularly, don't have your baby riding with your man if your man is in a gang. Don't have your baby in the car and you know your man is in a gang, working in the streets, sell drugs, pushing drugs in a gang. Don't have your baby in a car like that because they will use your baby as a shield and they'll still be out here walking around. So don't have your baby in a car with your man. You know your man Pookie is in a gang or people is after him because he be taking people out. Don't have your baby in a car like that. Don't. I don't care how much money he give you. Don't have your baby out like that. You put your baby in harm's way because when they come after you, when they come after the situation, they don't care who they hit. And sometimes these men, they'll use the baby as a shield because how he ain't been hit and she was sick and now she's gone. A little baby. So you got to be mindful of that, mothers, as well. Okay, you got to be very, very mindful of that. And I say that humbly. I do. I say that so humbly. Okay, you got to be mindful of that. All right. Somebody said before we get started, they said, "Is Wiley T-shirt the cast of Paid in Full?" Yes, Paid in Full is one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies. So when I saw this shirt, I said, "Yes, I gotta get the shirt." It's one of my favorite movies. But if I'm out here in a gang, you don't have your children around me, because and don't let nobody live in your house that's in a gang. If you know you have somebody, one of your loved ones in a gang, don't have them in the house. I remember my brother was in a gang and they were after his friend and they literally came to my grandmother's house and they shot at the person. They was looking for my brother, but they got my brother's friend and they shot him. And so if my grandmother would have opened up the door, they would have got her. Thank God she didn't hear the bullets fly, didn't hear anything, hear nobody knock on the door, but they would have gotten her if she would have opened up the door. And literally they got the friend, a couple of bullets, I think it hit him in the leg, and they were looking for my brother, but they got his friend because his friend was on the front porch. And that's how I was trying to tell him. I said, don't have nobody that's in a gang living in your house because what they're doing is going to come to your front door. The stuff, the activities that they're doing is going to instantly come to your front door. So you got to be very cautious of that. Very cautious on who you have around you. So if you have somebody in the streets, you can say, I understand that, but you can't live with me because you in the streets. You can't take my baby with you to no birthday party because you in the streets. You can't be around me because you in the streets. And we have to have that drilled in us when it comes to that, and I say that humbly. We really have to. Give me a second. When it comes to that, now we're gonna go to our other topic. Okay. Now, I feel sad. Like I was crying. It's really sad. It's just so much. It is really so much that is going on in this world. Let's talk about the Chicago protesters. Now, this is rough. This is on Hollywood Unlocked. They are calling for Lori Lightfoot to resign after the fatal police shooting of Adam Toledo. I think I said his name right. So Adam, and this is gonna be rough. He got shot by the police, shot and killed by the police. But it's gonna be really rough what I'm about to say. But he was in a gang, and allegedly they said that he was in a gang and that he had a gun. And so the police was chasing him out, and they was responding to shots fired. So he did not drop the gun, and he was shot one time in the chest. So people were saying, "Oh my God, his hands was up," and all that. That's not the full case. The full story of it. The young man had a gun, even though he's 13 years old, but he was a 13-year-old gang member. And we have to be honest. If you're in the gang, if you got a gun, it's nothing easy going to happen. It's nothing easy going to come to you with that. I'm gonna say it again. If you in the gang and all of that, and of course she's not gonna resign. Why should resign if he's in the gang? What they need to be talking about is where your parents at. If you were outside in 3 some in the morning when this incident happened, where were your parents? Where were your mama and your daddy? Why in the world are you walking with some grown folks with guns? And they say allegedly he was in a gang. So now they're the media trying to paint this picture. Oh, he was so innocent. He was an innocent young boy. He was just a kid, in which he was 13, but innocent he was not. And so they posted a picture of the police officer and all of that. And of course, the police officers won't be charged because his life was he was definitely it was in the self-defense and all of that. So when he had the gun and he had it in one in the hand, then he had tried to put it down, and the officer shot him. This is how it goes. They're trying to make it seem like he already put the gun down and he had both hands up. No, he had the gun in the other hand, and the officer put it down. The officer and he tried to raise his head. The officer shot him again. Why in the world was a 13-year-old outside with a gun? Where was the person's parents? Where were his parents? That's the question. See, when you ask these questions, they're not willing to answer it. And the police officer didn't know that he dropped the gun or not. He was asked to shot fire. And why would you see, it's really rough. I am sad that he's gone. He's 13 years old. Yes, that's a tragedy. 13, oh my gosh. But being 13 years old, and I did see the footage, I said the officer, he did right for what he did. He did right for what he did. The officer he had to do what he had to do. I mean, it's what it is. He ain't gonna get indicted. He's not gonna get indicted. So it is what it is. Okay. And I just said what I said. If you don't like it, you can always call in. But where were the parents at? You can't be joining no gang and doing all this with a gun. And my main question is, where were his parents? Okay, I agree with Don Lemon. Not all police incidents are the same, and they're not all the same. They're not. You cannot look at one incident that happened in Brooklyn, Minneapolis, out there in Brooklyn City, than this incident that happened in Chicago. You got to look at each incident separately. You cannot look at all police incidents as the same because they're not the same. I'm going to say it again. You can't look at all the incidents as the same because they're not the same. And I'm going to say that again. They're not. Okay? All right. We shall see how this is going to go. And family is definitely in my prayers, but you can't be letting your kids be out with no guns. I'm just going to say that again. I know people ain't going to like what I'm saying it, but it's just my humble opinion. So let's get to Jeffree Star. Okay. I'm not even a fan of Jeffree Star, but I am sad that this happened to him. So he ended up in the hospital because he was in a car accident. And this is what he wrote. Jeffree Star said part of his back is broken after being in a car accident. It said, this morning was one of the scariest moments of our entire lives. I'm so grateful to be here still. I am in excruciating pain because part of my back is broken and I have a vertebrae fractures on my spine. My doctor said it will take a few months, but I should make a full recovery. So he was in a car with one of his friends and he got into a terrible accident. Really, really, really sad. Sad, sad, sad. So let me scroll over and see what this other slide is. This is him. He said, damn, a few hours ago, Jeffree and Daniel were in a severe car accident. The car flipped 3 times after hitting black ice. We will update you all where the doctor give us more info. So thankful they are both alive. There you go. You just never know. I'm praying. Yes, I'm praying. But they slide on black ice. On black ice. It wasn't black ice. Child, that's dangerous. So they probably was up there driving fast. There's no telling. So we are praying for him. I think a lot of people were saying in my DM that this is karma and all of this, and I was responding. I said my official response is I feel bad that he's in the hospital because I don't want to see anybody in the hospital with a broken back. And if having a broken back, that's a painful experience to get a back to recover. That's painful. That is extremely painful. We'll never have to call the police because you don't know what will happen. You may become the criminal. Yes, you're right. You're exactly right about that. So we're definitely praying for him right there. I know some people in the chat. We're definitely praying. Black ice accident, not them. Yeah, they said on black ice. They said black ice in the springtime. I don't know where they was at with the black ice. I don't know what part. It didn't say where they were at. Let me see. I don't see. It didn't tell me where they was at. I don't know. Okay. They said the pig sings so staged. I don't think it's staged, but you already know that they're gonna do it. So people, you already know that people was going to get into a situation. You already know it probably was drunk, drinking and driving, but we shall get more information. I'm definitely going to keep y'all updated on this information. I'm definitely going to get y'all information. How do you break part of your back? It's the whole back, can't break half arm. So we shall see how it is. He probably got a fractured back and all of that. We definitely praying for his family and also praying for Jeffree Star that he recovers. We definitely praying for him that recover. I'm seeing in here, maybe they were, speeding. Speeding is it happened in Wyoming. That snow ran where mud be the East Coast in Wyoming. That's what happened. And thank you so very much for that. And see, all of that is what it's on. So we're praying for him. And some people said, why did he take a picture? I mean, he is a socialite. He is a social media icon. And so being an icon on social media, I honestly get a point where you have to speak on it. So he is a social media icon. So that is why you see him take a picture, or one of his friends or whomever when the camp take a pictures, because he update people on how he feel. That's just how it is. He's gonna update people. He's a social media icon. Okay. You definitely, when you're driving, you have to slow down. You cannot be speeding on black ice. You literally have to take your time. You cannot be speeding with black ice. We don't have snow on the East Coast this time of the year. But this happened in Wyoming. Okay? I'm just saying it right then and there. Okay. All right. We're going to move on to the next topic. Get well, dear brother, Jeffree Star. Okay. All right. So this next topic is going to be sad. So I want you guys, this next one is going to be really sad. So this is, we're going to be talking about Lil Nas X mother. She's on drugs, and apparently someone saw her outside begging for money. So that is her. That's his mom right there in the yellow. I can't play it because they play music, but that's her right there saying that she homeless, begging for money. And they said, oh my God, this is Lil Nas X mom on the corner in Atlanta, Georgia, and all of that. That's his mom right there. Okay, that's his mom. And the man is asking her questions and all of that. And that's his mom right then and there. But the father, because many people was calling out Lil Nas X, trashing him, talking about how can you be so rich and your mother is out there cussing. I mean, your mother is out there begging for money. But this is what his father had to say. Despite what people say, Lil Nas X is the greatest kid a parent can be blessed with. Although his mom is in a struggle with an addiction, she's still a queen, and he goes through great lengths to make sure we're taken care of. Those who have family members and friends dealing with an addiction understand that there ain't enough money you can throw at this situation to make it right. I don't usually address personal issues publicly, but felt like this needs to be. Please join us in keeping her in your prayers. And to those out there trying to create false story, you won't prosper. Hashtag control the narrative. Okay? Control the narrative. Someone put right here, wow, the worthless piece of ish won't even help his own mother, but will worship Satan and said, this is the type of Satan coon that is cherished and loved by the racist white nationalist terrorist group. So that's what they said about that. So then we get to this part of where he said, I hate, this is what Lil Nas X said, I hate speaking on my personal life, but y'all don't know how many nights I've cried myself to sleep feeling guilty because nothing I tried will help my mom. Pay me as a bad guy all you want, but at the end of the day, you don't know me outside of this internet. And you know what? I agree with Lil Nas X. You cannot. I have somebody that's dealing with an addiction problem. You can throw money at them, but you can try to put them in rehab. If they ain't ready to get help, they're not going to get help. I'm gonna say it again. No amount of money is going to make that person get off the drugs. They have to have that order when it comes like that. And if you don't participate, if you can bring somebody in your house, they can come and steal everything. She probably feel comfortable being out on the street. She probably don't want to be in no house. She probably don't want to live by the rules. And then she go out on the street and do all of that. And you be bringing in your house. Then you got to worry about them stealing. Then you got to be right there. He could probably put her in an apartment. She probably will leave that apartment. He probably put her in rehab. She probably leave rehab. She probably feel comfortable being out there on the street. This is not just a regular mother that is not on drugs. This is a mother that is on drugs. Period. This is a mother that is on drugs. Now, if it was me, I'd just give my mom the coke if she wants some coke. Now, what he could do, give his mom the coke. Give his mom the crystal meth, whatever she needs. Give her a supply of it, to get her off the street so you won't get blamed of it. You could do that, or you could do this part. Just have her out there and just have her out there on the street, or you could just provide her with the drugs, put her in a nice house, and be done with it. Have your security, make sure you watch her, and do all of that. Okay, that's not the proper way. Okay, what's the proper way? That's true. While I work with homeless, and many times they rather be on the streets. I'm telling you, I've been around homeless people, and they feel comfortable being out there on the streets. What more do y'all want? Y'all talking about enable her? They be right there out there on the streets, and they are comfortable being on the streets. I remember one time my grandmother let these two people that was on drugs in her house, and they robbed her blind. And they went back out there on the streets, because you cannot try to force somebody to get clean. If they don't want to get clean, you can't force them. I'm just saying, you can't. Now, it's embarrassing for Lil Nas X, because now people are going to go to that corner and mess with her. But I'm feeling like this. Why you ain't dropping no money in her cup to that gentleman that went over there? Why you ain't dropping no money in her cup and you went over there to be nosy and start some mess? And it's so sad. I am yet praying for Lil Nas X's mother that she gets off the drugs. I'm praying that she get on there. Okay? Wiley, I walked in and you said give her the drugs. Or you can just give her the drugs. Which one do you want? What do y'all want? Y'all saying it's a shame that Lil Nas X's mother out there. What do y'all want Lil Nas X to do? Do y'all want her to just give his mama the endless supply of coke or heroin? What do y'all want him to do? It's very embarrassing. This reminded me when I went up there and I saw my friend Mom. She was at the CVS on 59th and Ashland in Chicago, and she was begging people for money and stuff like that. And I give her a couple of dollars. I knew she was gonna go and smoke it up, but I felt bad. But I'm like, hey, your son, he's a sheriff and he's doing really good out there in Virginia. And here you are out here in Chicago on 59th, and you out here begging for money. So I gave her a couple of dollars. I knew she was gonna smoke it up, but I gave her a couple of dollars. I didn't live stream or anything like that. I didn't live stream it or nothing like that. I just gave her the couple of dollars. But anywho, she was on drugs, and so it is what it is. Many days we tried to put her in rehab. She didn't want to do rehab. She felt comfortable on the street until she died. There's nothing that you can do. Okay, give her different surroundings where she doesn't have access. It's drugs everywhere. It's drugs everywhere. You can go any and everywhere, and you can find drugs. I'm just gonna tell you that right then and there. Well, give her a different surrounding and all that. You can find drugs anywhere. It's drugs I mean, come on now. Let's not act like it's drugs everywhere. I don't care where you go, they are everywhere. Just look at his mom right there. Let that simple. There you go. And he was asking the mom and so, hey, you Lil Nas ex mom and stuff like that. It's sad. It is so sad. I'm triggered. I know I'm triggered too, but it's sad. But what can you do if you want to do? What can you do? I just got my own apartment because I got tired of dealing with somebody dealing with addiction, coming through the window, stealing my stuff, took my laptop, then brought it back because I called the cops. I got tired of it's embarrassing. I'm sad that we grew up together. We knew each other for years, but I can't be around a person with an addiction. I'm sorry. I can't deal with somebody that's addicted to something like that. I can't deal with somebody with an addiction. It's sad. And this is on a corner of Atlanta, Georgia. It's really sad. I'm crying. But what more can you do? What more can you do? What do you suggest that he do if she leave the rehab? And I've heard that he put her in rehab and she left rehab. So what more do y'all want him to do? That's kind of sad. Leave the lady alone. Now you know it's gonna be a lot of people bothering her because they know where she at. Either while they have to cut you have to cut off people. I don't think he would try to help her if she was held for ransom. Listen, this child, come on now. Get off the subject. His mom off limits. Don't be a part of this mess. This ain't tea. Listen, this is a channel that talk about commentary. That does commentary on topics, and we yet praying for his mother. I'm praying for his mother. That's sad. I'm definitely praying for his mom. She definitely in my prayers. And definitely in my prayers. She's in my prayers, and we definitely gonna keep y'all. She's definitely in my prayers. So we're at the last. I think we're at our last subject. We're gonna talk about Jason Lee and Mob Radio. So Mob Radio did an interview. And this, when I say this, you guys, I know this is going to be a triggering subject, but just sit back and relax and hear what I got to say. So she interviewed Jason Lee, one of his people that he smashed. Okay, when I say smash, he got it in with. So one of the young brothers, he's in his mid-20s. Jason Lee went live, and he said that he had sex with this guy, and he got the lube, that the guy didn't have no money, and just was just saying all of these things. And then we get to the fact of the young man saying, no, I'm not broke. We had sex countless times. So he eventually do an interview with My Radio. And she asked him some questions, okay, that what really happened and how Jason sent him a flight, sent him some money for a flight. And we see a screenshot of Hollywood Unlocked. And he was saying that Jason Lee peen is very small, like 6 inches, that his feet stink. Then he said that they went out for breakfast for $200 and all of his cars were getting declined. And that he only had 1 security guard and not 2 security guards. That's what the young man said. Now, what I want to say is that I do believe Jason Lee had sex with the young man. He's in his 20s. I believe that. I don't believe Jason Lee feet stink. I don't believe that Jason Lee is broke. I don't believe the cars were declined. I don't believe his security guard had to pay for it. I don't believe any of that. I believe that young man was mad because Jason Lee was roasting and gagging him, and now he get on the platform and now he want to roast and gag Jason. I don't believe Jason Lee is broke. I mean, he's funded by Floyd Mayweather. I mean, his channel is doing incredible well. He got multiple checks. I don't believe any of that, and his cars are just getting declined and that you had to pay for it, then the security guard had to pay for it. That doesn't make sense. But I do see you doing this just to roast and gag Jason Lee because Jason Lee was roasting you. So I understand that. I don't believe that Jason Lee feet stink and all that. I just don't believe that at all. I just believe that because if his feet stink, why would you allow him to put his stinking peen inside of your badissi? I'm gonna just say that. Okay, if he stink, give me a second. Why in the world would you allow him to put that stinking peen inside of your badissi? If he stink, why in the world would you allow him to stick his pee in your badussi and his feet stink. What that say about you, you must have stink too. So that just did not make sense. So I just think that he just tried to roast and gag Jason because Jason was roasting and gagging him. The thing that I want to say to Jason Lee, you just got to be cautious of bringing these people off of Snapchat, off of Bingo and doing all that stuff. You got to be very cautious. I agree with Millie on this. You have to be very cautious paying folks for sex and let them travel to your city because I heard that could be sex trafficking. I heard that somebody said that could be taken as sex trafficking. I don't know how true that is because I'm not no lawyer or nothing like that. That if you fly somebody in from another city for sex, it could be taken as sex trafficking. I don't know how true that is. I didn't even know that existed. So if you fly somebody in from another city to your city for sex, it could be taken as sex trafficking. I don't know how true that is. But anyway, I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true it is, and I'm not in that type of way. If you pay them, I think okay, you have to pay them, but the payment can be the flight could take it as a child. I don't know, but I don't believe it. I just think Jason had a good time with the guy, and like that. I don't believe that Jason would took advantage of the guy. And then the guy was like, well, it's a rumor that he dealt with a 14 and 15-year-old. I said, I never heard no rumor of him dealing with no 14 and 15-year-old. And people in the gay community gotta be careful. Stop going with these tired lies talking about somebody with 14 and 15 years old. That young man, his 20s, he tried to roast and gag and talk about, well, it was somebody who was 14 and 15 years old and he dealt with. I'm like, come on now with them tired lies. Get out of here with that stuff. Why in the world would you say something like that? Come on now. Come on now. Really? Really? You really gonna say all that stuff? Come on now. I don't believe it at all. But hey, if he want to do an interview, he have a right. Now, do I agree with him to go on and do an interview? Because Jason was talking about it first. I think if Jason would have never said anything about it, we would have known who the boy is. The boy would have never done no show about it. I think the boy just want clout, just like that R. Kelly person. And I'm sorry, just like that Kirk Franklin guy. He up there doing another interview. Then the child, when I tell you these clout chasers, he went on somebody else's show and he tried to drag Armand. I'm like, what the world? I'm like, dude, you didn't say that in the previous videos and the previous stuff. Why you up there dragging him now, child? Ain't nobody talking about our Kirk Franklin, his son, no more. Ain't nobody talking about that. But the guy said about, yeah, I gave Armand, and Armand, he got mad at me. I'm like, why you bringing his name up? I'm saying, child, that guy is a clout chaser. That's why I don't believe that Kirk Franklin molested his son. I don't believe that at all. That guy is a clout chaser. Anyway, in my humble opinion. So we're going to open up the phone lines. But I'm glad that Millie did the interview because, hey, we have something to talk about. It's going to look at, hey, well, I'm just saying, they said you are over the BS with these folks today. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm giving my opinion about what I feel about the situation. Jason Lee is a grown man and the person is grown. So it ain't like the person was 15 or 16 or 17 years old. The person was in their mid-20s. So whatever, he was legal. Somebody told me, oh, Jason Lee shouldn't deal with nobody. They just deal with. Listen, he legal. He legal. So what's the problem? I think the issue is people just be hating on Jason because Jason is rich. He's a celebrity. And he funded by Floyd Mayweather, and people, they get mad. You know what I'm saying? They get mad and stuff like that, but they get jealous. And a lot of times people be jealous of Jason Lee, of his success. That's how they want Jason Lee to go down or something. Or, they say Jason Lee should have did. I'm like, child, Jason, this ain't gonna be the first time Jason Lee fly somebody in, and it won't be the last time they fly somebody in and get it in. It's like a grown man knows. A grown man who knows Jason Lee. It was a grown man. Okay, like that. Jason Lee is that type of person. Now, I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I'm going to allow y'all to call in. Okay, give me a second while I open up this line. Okay, the lines are open up, 646-716-8447. Okay, let me put it in the comments. I'm going to drop it in the comments because I already know. They're going to be like, what's the phone number? What's the phone number? And stuff like that. But yeah, that's how that go, child. These people will be getting on here clown shows. You give them a show, they'll be there. We go. Jason Lee is in his 40s. Jason Lee is in his 40s, and the guy that he allegedly had sex with, was in their 20s. I think 24 years old. So the guy was legal. Now I never flew nobody in. Never did nothing like that. never flew nobody in. Okay. I'ma just tell you that right now. Never did nothing like that. I'm just giving my humble opinion. I can believe and stuff like that. So all right, let's go to the phone lines. All right. 8997, calling you on air.
Hello, Wiley. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Speak on it.
Hey, well, first of all, RIP to Black Rob. The issue that I had with Diddy is not just this entertainer. It's several other entertainers that has had issues with Bad Boy. Even 112 had to leave Bad Boy and they went to So Def. Well, not So Def Jam. You had Mace. It's a lot, even Faith Evans, because they don't get the rights to their masters and rights to their publishing. Due to Diddy, that's why last year before last, that's why Mace called him out. And it's not so far as the contract is concerned or getting a good contract lawyer to look over it. It's the fact that for years and years, Black entertainers have been duped. Look at Tony Braxton. And what saved Tony Braxton was when Babyface got on the stand, they asked him, would he have taken a deal like this had it been offered to him? And he said no. And that's how she was able to walk away with them 20+ million from LaFace Records. So it's just not Diddy. Now, is Diddy responsible for him? No. But I was listening to a few videos earlier where Bad Boy cut off his medical insurance and things, and he did not know. He did not, because he was, at the time, he was still an employee. And then Diddy revamped Bad Boy, and they took him off the list. They terminated him. So he had no idea or any clue that he didn't not have any insurance. But looking forward 20 years later, sometimes artists can't bounce back, or this is all that they know. Now, yes, a lot of people are saying, well, he could have got a regular 9 to 5, or he could have. But sometimes when you, life just happens, and sometimes when you work in a particular industry or work in a particular sector, sometimes it's just hard for you to get bounced back and things. So I just, I hate this is happening to our people.
But again, that's the blame. You keep blaming all on Bad Boys. This is 20-something years.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that, Bob. I didn't blame it on Bad Boy. No, but Diddy has made a lot of shady dealings, and
that's just business.
Everybody's not going to tell the same lie.
But that's just business.
Wow.
That's on them for signing bad contract. It's business. It is what it is. It's a lot of white.
Yeah, it is business, but if it's shady dealings and shady, because see, a lot of times you may have things written up in a contract that may read one way, but if it may be interpreted something totally different. So, and then you have managers. A lot of times, the artists are not even reading the contracts. Their managers are reading the contracts for them. So you just all in about educating yourself on what it is that you're signing. Me, I read everything because I'm at the law school. I read everything, but the compassionate side of me, a lot of these artists, because the glitz and glamour, a lot of that stuff, these kids are falling behind that because they see the money thrown in the videos, the cars.
But it's their fault. It's their fault because they're being stupid, signing deals without doing their proper research, without doing their proper reading. It's on them. You have to.
Not all the time, because because when a deal is made so attractive, now we know now to read contracts, but just like one of the best deals in history was Ray Charles when he went to ABC Records and told them, hey, they're giving me my publishing rights and the rights to my own masters. Can you match that? He had people on his team, on his side, to let him know what this contract was about. And as a result, he died a rich man and was able to leave his family well off in time. But see, everybody don't have that because they're selling them this pipe dream that this is how it's going to be. You're going to be rich and this stuff. And when it's over, they just cut them off. Now, is it anybody's responsibility for them to save money? No. Is it Diddy's responsibility to keep up with him? No, it was not. But when you are consistently making money off their music and you have not given them a dime, that's the issue I have with this. And he's not the only one.
Well, again, ma'am, that's business. And if you can't take that, he's a capitalist, and I agree with Diddy, and I stand what Diddy stands for. If you're stupid enough to sign a bad deal, you just die broke. It's just you. That's just on you.
Well, I agree somewhat, and somewhat I disagree in the background, but back to the violence that's been happening, especially our babies. I'm so sorry about the 11-month-old that was killed, and the 6-year-old that was killed, just being with her father, and things. You are absolutely right. In the city where I come from, Easter Sunday, 5 was shot. One young lady was killed, and everybody was innocent bystander. And one young lady was killed trying to save some small children, and a 5-year-old got hit in the crossfire, and it hit both of his lungs. He survived, and he's up and talking, but this young lady lost her life all because of violence. And it seemed like when the seasons change, when the heat comes out, it's like people just go haywire. But my condolences to the family on that. Jason Lee is a whole nother story. I don't even, honey. But anyway, Wiley, I love you. I love you. And things. And I thank you for the healthy conversations.
Thank you.
Have.
Thank you so much for calling in.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
No problem.
All right. So the number is 646-716-8447. 8742. Caller, you're on the air. 8742. You live on the air. 8742. Okay. Anonymous, you live on the air. All right. 8742. Okay. I'll try to bring you on. All right. If anybody else want to call in, the number is 646-716-8447. That's why we have so many charges on the record industry because, all right. So, well, again, we know you're not on Biggie payroll. All right, so we have the phone lines open up. The number is 646-716-8447. Okay. 5840, you're live on the air.
Hey, Wiley, how are you?
Hey, doing good.
Hey, so I was waiting for you to touch on this topic with the Jason Lee situation. I was in the bushes with my radio when she went live and, discussing this topic. But if you could remember, Jason Lee always stated that he do like young men and he has a particular type. And he go to DR and basically do what he wants. So like my whole thing is you have to stop saying things that you do on social media because at the end of the day, it can be back to you in a bad way. So you don't know who's behind the scenes doing deep investigation and Millie don't play.
That's true. That's very true. And he always been saying, and I think he just said because sometimes I say a lot of stuff, you forget that you have a reach of thousands of people that view you or that, that you have power in your voice. I don't think he noticed that yet, that he have a lot of power in his words. Because when he say that, he just be joking, but sometimes then you get a scandal, you just got to stop saying it. That's the same thing with Jeffree Star. That's the same thing that goes on with James Charles. You got to be cautious on what you say and what you do on this platform because you can get caught up in a scandal.
And if you could put two and two together, like why would he come out and just out himself?
I was wondering that.
If he did not say anything, we would have not known anything.
And I think he just did that for bingo, just for clicks and views, though. I thought he just did it for bingo for some clicks and views.
Yeah.
But the guy was like, he was threatened. He said that Jason told him he'd get his security guard and beat him up in the alley. I'm like, I don't believe Jason. I don't believe Jason Lee is doing all that to get no. But does he? You ain't got.
At the end of the day, Wiley, you never know. You
got to do all that to try. It ain't that hard to get no Badussi, somebody that's 20-some years old, and you ain't got to do all that. That is something like, come on now. I just think the guy is a little chump chaser.
Because one of my friends also said that if the feet stink, why would you continue? And the guy said it wasn't a one-night stand, so therefore it had to been a couple days that they chilled. So of course, if you have athlete's foot, your feet stink. The only reason I could imagine for the person to stay there and keep doing whatever they did is because of the coins, the money.
The money.
If money was paid out. And money was paid out because Millie had a receipt. It
was a receipt. But we
don't know the amount as of yet.
Yeah, and they said Hollywood. And then you got to be careful paying under your business name, too. Because that kind of like tarnish your business a little bit.
Yeah, that's your business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I agree, but I have another thing. Millie's not dumb. If you ask me, she might have more information, but she's not going to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
At one time. You get what I'm saying? So Jason Lee, what's your next move?
I just think Jason Lee should just leave. Do you think he should just leave it alone, just go to something else? Because it's, talking about this, because the guy he's not underage though. He's a grown man.
But how do you know that? Someone came on my radio show and said that her niece, if I'm not mistaken, her niece went to school with the young gentleman, and he's not 24.
So you say that he's not? Well, where the man parents at?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, more to the story, but we don't know.
Gosh! I hope this man is in his 20s. We don't need no other.
But don't be a fool because you're a celebrity blogger. Like, why you're not ID'd? Why are people not signing NDAs? Like, are you stupid? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
so you saying he's not 24? He's okay. We shall see, and definitely I will keep an update on this story. I guess this story will definitely grow legs if the guy is not 24, because then that is really, this story take a whole nother left turn.
And I just want to make this a little juicy before I get off the air. I know Tasha K and Jason Lee dislike each other, so I want to know if Tasha K is having a ball on this situation. What do you think?
Probably so. I don't think Tasha K
might come to her so she could get an exclusive.
I don't think she would do it. It would mainly go on Storm Monroe's platform before it go on Tasha. I don't think Tasha would talk about it.
Because it's beneath her.
It's
K, right?
It's beneath her. I don't think she would talk about it because that would give Jason clout. If it was something dealing with Floyd Mayweather, then I would see Tasha K talk about it. And this, but Jason, she ain't gonna talk about that. And I don't even think Storm Monroe gonna talk about it because he's down in a different lane.
So I know Bob picked up on the story, and you picked up on the story. Are all the other bloggers picking up on the story?
I don't think they will. I don't think so, because these people are being promised deals and different stuff. They're in bed with Jason, not in physical bed, but you know what I'm saying. They're in bed with him, so I don't think they will talk about it. I don't think so. This is the second time Jason was in.
But don't you think that's wrong? Because if they're, celebrity gossipers, like,
no, if you're in bed with some people, you ain't gonna touch.
They share copper bloggers.
They share copper bloggers, and also they're not gonna want to talk about it, especially if another blogger talked about it first. They don't want to seem like they're coming behind them, giving them other clout and all that. Yeah, they go.
So you don't believe Omar would touch the story because he's under Jason Lee.
I don't think so. I don't think he would touch it. He's in bed with him. He want other opportunities. And if he touch it and
he wants the clout.
Yeah, he want the clout. And he's not gonna touch on the story. No, absolutely not. He's not gonna touch on it.
What are you saying?
No. Y'all are gonna see that happen. I don't care if you even have evidence. And of course, the young man probably went over there to Armand for an interview, and he probably denied. He probably said no. He probably went over there for the guy. Because the guy, if he went to Millie, he probably went to other bloggers. You know how these people be doing. They be knowing who to go to get their story out. I don't see it happening.
I have to call in and be a little messy.
All right, I'll tell you. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
All right.
Okay. Let's go to the next caller. 7644, caller, you're on air.
What's good, Wiley?
Hey, how you doing?
Listen, this is the voice of TTB for the TTB YouTube channel. Yesterday, we did an exclusive interview with the boy who slept with Jason Lee. Now, the guy's name is J Money 7. He is 20. He's 24 years old.
Well, he's not underage.
No, he's not underage.
Okay.
Now, during the interview, you're going to see hotel footage. We have the hotel footage, and he is claiming Jason Lee is sleeping with a 14-year-old.
I don't believe that.
Boy
I don't believe that.
He calls his.
What the evidence?
I'm letting you know what he said.
No. See, this is what I'm saying. When you interview somebody,
he says he has the evidence. But
did you see that? Did you see the evidence?
Allegedly.
Did you see the evidence? I'm just asking you a question. Did you see the evidence?
I didn't see the evidence.
Well, then I won't repeat that like that. You got to see the evidence if you're a reporter.
I did see the hotel footage, and I can tell you that he was not there for one night. He was there for 3 nights.
Well, that's good. That's all legal. But when you're talking about
that's fine.
That's all legal. But if you're saying something about an underage person, you got to have evidence for that. Because this right here, he's 24.
He has evidence. He says he has.
Well, child, I won't repeat that though. I won't repeat that unless you seen the evidence though.
This is what he said during the interview. I'm just letting you know what he
said. That young man just mad because he ain't with Jason Lee no more. He's a clout chaser. You don't believe he's a clout chaser. Anytime you talk about, I got evidence, where the evidence at? That's an exclusive, because this right here with a 24-year-old man and a 40-something-year-old, that's all legal. But if you say something about a 14, you got to show me evidence. You just can't say that on my show without no evidence, because that means you can say anything.
Fact. I'm just letting you know what he said, because a lot of people calling in, they don't seem to know what's going on. So letting you know what he said, and he also said that Jason Lee is lying about his dick size, that his dick size is 6 inches.
Who don't lie about their dick size though? Who don't lie? This all this stuff is real legal. Now the exclusive would be if you have evidence about the 14. That's more so illegal, and that the legal people, the police need to get involved in something like that. But this case with him being with a 40-something, this is all legal. If he's 24 years old and 40-something, that's legal right there.
Well, to be honest with you, Wiley, he's not the only one saying this. This has been on the streets for a minute.
But when is it gonna go to the police street? But when is it gonna go to the police street though? Because it's like that. Because like if you're saying something about a 14-year-old, that gotta go to the police street, to the detectives. If it's just on bingo, I'm like, that ain't gonna put them in jail or nothing like that. So me personally, the reason why I don't believe it's a 14-year-old, because they would have definitely tried to extort some money because he's funded by Floyd Mayweather, and they would have definitely see this out in some type of news. He would lose some deals if he was dealing with a 14-year-old. He would be stupid to deal with a 14-year-old.
Well, allegedly, he's been paying off these minors. He's been paying off these minors, and he's been offering them fame.
But these minors will still kind of talk. You could offer a minor anything if they will still talk about it. I will still see them talk about it.
This has been the word on the street for the last 3 years. But yesterday during the interview was my first time hearing somebody say that out loud.
Okay, but let me say this though. Whatever the case is, if you're dealing with a 14, you got to take that to the cops. But I don't think that's ever true. I just think that is a rumor because Jason Lee is successful. He's rich. He's famous. and he's around celebrities. And I think the reason why they do this because he's gay. And what way to take down a gay man? Say that he's dealing with a 14-year-old. Because most people think gay men are predators. They think gay men are, sick and twisted, and they think they're going to hell. And what's one of the main things to take down a gay man? You say, oh, he's dealing with a teenager. That's like one of the old school rumors that I see used a lot when you want to take down a gay man. You say they're dealing with a minor. So I don't see any evidence on that. 3581, caller, you on air.
Hello?
Hey, you're live on the Wiley Show.
Oh, shut up. I had just took you off the speakerphone. Look, Wiley, I just want to say I'm from Chicago, and I watch you all the time.
Thank you.
And I love your story time.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a little sick. I'm a nurse. I'm suffering from COVID, as a matter of fact.
Oh, my gosh.
I know, and I work the COVID unit now.
I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
But anyway, what I called about,
I was trying to say, oh, okay. I was about to say I need to put on my mask, but you far away. But go ahead, sister. Okay, let me put on my mask. Hold on, let me get this. Okay, go ahead.
I wear my mask and everything, and I'm a COVID nurse and everything, and I'm just like, man, here you go. But I'm doing well, no problem. But that's not about me.
All right.
I wanted to call you about, I agree with your opinion with the 13-year-old boy.
Okay, yes.
I feel that a lot of people don't agree with me. I feel like the protest is unnecessary. I feel that police officer had to do what he had to do. There's a split second that will change your life.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely no way that this boy should have been in the street before the hood.
Come on, yes I do.
With a weapon, and the police seen him with the weapon. It's evidence of the weapon. And the split second that it took, the cop didn't know he put it down at that moment. When he turned around, all he know, he had a split second himself to make a decision. And now they're not even speaking on why was he out there at that time? Why was he with a weapon? Who was he with?
You know why? Because the media love to play up because they want rioting. That's ratings. They want the looting. That equals ratings. That changes because number one, he's not a black boy, so that don't play the narrative. So right now they want innocent pictures and all of that type of stuff. But if they don't want to talk about him being in the gang. If they really do investigative journalism, they will definitely see that this young man was in a gang. He was hanging around the wrong group of people.
Absolutely.
He was hanging around the wrong group. And what was the young boy parents? What were the parents, mama and the daddy?
Exactly. First of all, in my hood, and the way I grew up, I'll be 49 Wednesday. You got to know where your child is at any hour. But let alone 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, running down the alley with a weapon with some grown man, ain't no way in the heck. Now, usually, you know how Chicago do. They set you up, they drop the drugs, they drop the gun or whatever. But there's evidence of that boy's hand slipping. There's multiple videos behind that gate. That cop didn't know what that little boy was going to do. And I believe these kids, 8, 9, 10, they say they'll shoot you, whip your behind. Baby, please, they'll do it. They recruit them young so they can get away with the time. But I don't want to say I don't feel sorry. I don't know what the reason why that 13-year-old boy was out there doing what he did because that's his family story. But I feel that was a justified shoot.
Absolutely. I feel like it was justified as well. I did. I feel like it was justified as well. Absolutely. And that should be a lesson learned.
Sorry he lost his life. That's chalking up to the game.
Absolutely. And you got to be very careful being out here in the street. And what the parents said, that's failure on parents slapping your boy outside that late, 13 years old.
13 years old. But I love your story time. I tell you, one day I thought you had a pink shirt on and you were talking about everything. I'm like, oh, I tried to call in, and every time I tried to call in, this channel is not. The number is not supporting. I'm like, well, wait a minute, he's not. Went back to it. It was the night before. I was so angry. You were talking about girls. You were talking about everything. I'm like, over in Inglewood, and I'm like,
yes.
I'm over it. I got to make sure. I said, he lied tonight. I'm going to check in.
Yes. I'm so glad that you did check in. And again, how is it in Chicago? Did you hear about the 6-year-old that died at the McDonald's?
I just called it on your live.
Okay.
I had to fast forward so I can make sure I didn't skip the daggone number.
Okay.
But I don't watch live TV anymore, and I choose my content because the media choose to tell you what they want you to hear as opposed to what's really going on.
Right. That's true. You're right.
So, but no, you brought it to me, and I didn't watch live. And I think that's a sad state of affairs. It's been like 3-4 mass shootings over the last few days, and so many shootings, in Chicago. It's ridiculous.
It's really a lot, and they keep on talking about blaming the mayor. I just think they need to do more investments. And what more can you do? It's just got to stop having these people having guns in their home. They need gun control, honestly, because that's just too much.
Right.
People have access to weapons.
But one thing about it too, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
And I hate to go on that political thing, but people should read and watch the politics because it's always wag the dog. We're going to show you something over here so you don't have to pay attention to what's going on. Really, he's written in law that, but I know it's unconstitutional. Hopefully it can be fought, that he can go in unwarranted and take your weapon.
Oh yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna pass.
Exactly.
No, that's not gonna pass. The
thing that our issue is in Chicago is, I'm sorry, Wiley.
No, talk about
these people who are getting caught with these weapons and having weapons charges go into the police station and they're rounding them up, they're charging them, but our laws are not sticking enough, and these people coming right back out committing the same crimes. Some of them are multiple offenders for the same offense, and the cycle continues until the state's attorney and all of those people on that level of law check it and make it, stronger and harder for these people not to commit those same crimes again. Then that's when we'll gain the control. Because as long as they think they'll get a slap on the hand 2 or 3 times, they're going to continue doing what they're doing.
Facts. You're right about that. You said it on that. You hit the nail on the head on that. They got to have tougher laws, and they're going to have some type of law and order to get Chicago, to get the crime down. The crime is out of hand.
Yes, it's completely out of hand. But thank you. I just want to call and tell you I love you. You and your eye, baby.
Thank you.
Because the kisses to you, and I identify you and I love you. Keep up the content.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
All righty. Take care. Be blessed.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. So thank you so very much. All right. So we are live, and I want to say this toward the Jason Lee piece. Many people want to take down Jason Lee, and Jason Lee. What he have to understand, he have to be very cautious on what he says on his platform. I learned that too, and also too, being a successful gay man. Unfortunately, when you're coming up, they will try to pin something on you, or he did this with a minor and all this. And the reason why I don't believe it, because I'm like, where's the 14-year-old? Where's this quote unquote 15-year-old? Nowhere to be found, because these are just rumors. And the 20-some-year-old person is mad and pressed. You got to be careful who you stick in their badutsi, because then they come around, they start a lie, and they go on a press tour. They go here, they go there, trying to take down Jason Lee, trying to take him down because Jason Lee blocks you on Instagram, Jason Lee blocks you on Twitter. So now you're going around on every type of platform you can find to get out your lies or something like that. Because if you come on the Wiley Show, if you say something like that, I'm like, hold up. Where your evidence and proof? Because if you ain't got no proof or no evidence, ain't no use you even try to say something like that. And if you're an interviewer, you gotta be very cautious on it. You just can't let somebody say, "Whoa, he did with this." Where your proof and where your evidence? So we should definitely see it. And I see a lot of people won't have Jason Lee's side because, again, they can't take his attitude. Again, some he said on Twitter, some he said on Facebook. They're mad about something that he said, even though they never even met Jason Lee. They're just mad that he said something. But again, I stand with Jason Lee in this regard. I believe he did anything like that. I believe he liked what he liked. And why shouldn't you be able to fly somebody if they're legal? Do right there. You can have a good time. Fly them because everybody, send them a Greyhound. You know what I'm saying? Pay that little Uber. Do what you got to do. But this man is this young man going on a whole press tour. Now, one of the rumors was that he was not 24. Came out today. Somebody did an interview with the young brother to confirm that he was 24 years old. See how that stuff goes? I'm just saying, it just really, really goes. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Again, we will be going live on Patreon tomorrow. So if you are free, we will be going live on Patreon tomorrow. So make sure y'all can definitely check us out on Patreon and subscribe to our channel. Want to give a special shout out to all the moderators in the house. Thank them for so much for coming through. Who did I see in the chat today? I think I saw Bright Star in the chat. Shout out to Bright Star. Shout out to Mouth Open. Shout out to Shantae. Shout out to D. Shout out to TLC and 3. Shout out to Day. Shout out to Armin Brown. Shout out to J Real. Did I say Nurse Nicole? I think I named all of them. Bright Star. I think I named all of them. Armin Brown, Nurse Nicole, D Day, and also TLC and 3. I think I named all, and Mouth Open. I think I named all of y'all. So shout out to all the moderators in the house. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so very much. And Puppy Love. I think I gotta say Puppy Love as well. It said like that. Yes. Shout out to all the beautiful moderators. Okay. All right, so thank y'all so much. Make sure y'all like the video and stuff like that. Make sure y'all like to leave us a comment. But we'll see y'all in the next live. I got my water here. Drink me some water. Make sure y'all join us on Patreon and have a good old time. Mm-hmm. Yes, go hit that like button, child. Go hit that like button. And we would love to have, okay, I'm gonna keep that to myself. But yeah, on this show, we get into some topics over here. I want to say thank you to the super chat somebody gave us, Lee Price. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Also, too, I want to say this before we go. If anybody is thinking about doing DNA ancestry, just child, be there for a ride, child. It's really nice. Thank you. Some of y'all say y'all just like it. Thank you so very much. This is lit and everything like that. We are definitely going away. They said, why are you leaving? Child, I'm done. We talked about everything. We talked about y'all have fun on Patreon. I'm going to bed. Yes, thank you. All right, shout out to y'all right then and there. And also, I want to give a special shout out to Millie for interviewing the young brother so we can get the guy's perspective. I would love to talk to him, but I would like to get him on camera so I can see how he look. Because somebody said he looks really young. Somebody said he looks younger than 24. But there's some 24s that look like kids. I am sleeping. Somebody asked me a question. Are you sleeping good at your? Oh, yes, I'm sleeping really good. It is so peaceful. I have slept really, really good. And I'm going to say this before I go. I was watching give me a second. What was I watching? I was watching Roland Martin today. They were talking about Black-owned media, about investing in Black-owned media, getting advertising dollars in Black-owned media. I was saying, yes, please do so we can get some advertising dollars over here at the Wiley Show. I would love to give me some Ford, some General Motors, some Chrysler, whatever. I would love to get some of that over here at the Wiley Show. So I was watching that earlier today, and then I went to sleep, and I was like, man, I got to go live today because there was so much stuff that went on that I definitely need to talk about, okay? So I was watching that. Then it's another show. After I got through watching that, I watched a little bit of Jamie Foxx show. I'm really not a fan of the show. The show is all right. It's all right. Your new show that Jamie Foxx came out with. Did y'all check that show out? So I was watching on Netflix. It's all right. It's not all that. And I was watching it, and I'm like, okay, it's the woman who say, I love you, Wiley. Yeah, we love you, Wiley, though, through and through. Yes, stay true to you. Thank you. Love you all. Shout out to y'all. Okay. No, what is it called? Let me see. What is it called? I did talk about Sabrina. It's on the previous line. I'll drop it in there. Give me a second. What is the name of that? Stop Embarrassing Me, Dad is the name of it. On the show with Steve Harvey. Also, I'm going to drop this video because y'all kept on saying, Wiley, talk about Chase in LA. We talked about Chase in LA. So let me drop it in the comments. Give me a second. Because y'all said talk about Chase in LA. We talked about it. So give me a second. So we talked about Chase in LA. We talked about Sabrina. We talked about all that in the live. Okay. So y'all can go and check that out. We talked about it all. So Chase to LA, we talked about it. And many people were dissing me because I talked about it. I'm like, I was gonna talk about the show, get a little comedy with it. I'm not just a man. I talked about many shows with many people that I fell out with that's on these shows, and I still talk about it. So y'all must don't know the Wiley Show. I've been talking about Chasing Atlanta when it was back in season 1. When Nico was on there, the one that got one of the women on Little Women's of Atlanta pregnant, we was real cool at one point. And when I was talking about Chasing Atlanta all the way back from season 1, we also talked about G Status ATL Hustle. We also had the cast of the Real Hot Boys of Houston. We talk about these web series shows, period. So ain't nobody mad, ain't nobody jealous. We talk about these shows on our channel, and it's nothing new for over here at the Wiley Show. Okay, why did I get a click of the view? You talk about all the Chasing shows, all of the interview, and I interview different other cast members. I just recently reached out to somebody on one of the shows. So we just had Dre Simber on there. He was on one of the shows on that Chasing Dallas was doing, The Retreat. So we talk about these shows over here. They said it's the Missy Elliott for me. It was funny. What's the problem? Everybody else is talking about the Missy Elliott thing, but it's a problem when Wiley makes jokes about it. Child, I didn't come up with the comments, child. It's a Missy Elliott thing for me. I'm telling you. Yes. Oh, wow. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm doing something really quickly. Okay. All right. Love you. But you're gonna call her. I said what I said. I love you, and I thank you. Love you. You can join the Patreon really, really well. Join that. Make sure y'all do that. All right. Thank you so very much. Hey, I love your show, Gia. Yes, I love it. Hey. We shall see y'all later. Peace. I would have known about the Chase Rally if you didn't put me on. Come on. We've been talking about, I just want people to know that. So make sure y'all leave a comment because they were dissing me over there. You bad, you press, you gonna cry. I'm like, what? Child, we've been talking about the Chasing the Chasing reality shows. That ain't gonna change. And it's something else that I want to talk about too that's coming down the pipeline. But I can't say nothing right now. Coming down the pipeline. Okay? It's coming down the pipeline. I can't say nothing right there. It's coming down the pipeline. Hello? You live on the air? Hello? Oh, Lord. I hung up on her. That was the Wendy Williams caller. Y'all call back in, Wendy. Child. Okay. Y'all better be calling on time. So let me get the Wendy Williams caller back on. We'll stay back on a little bit because she want to come back on and say something. Hold on. Call back in. I'm sorry, my mistake. Oh, child. Because y'all be calling in private, so I'll be trying to screen these private callers because they be trolling. And she want to speak on it. So we allow her call in. We're going to wait till she call back in, you guys, before we go. All right, there we go. All right. Hello, Wendy. How you doing?
Riley, how are you?
It's been a while.
I keep getting cut off. What's going on, Wiley?
It was a mistake because we have some trolls, so we have to. So you good? Go ahead.
I've been on vacation. How are you? Where are you sitting right now? Are you in a prison cell?
No, I'm in my new apartment.
What's going on? I'm not used to that background.
No, I'm in my new apartment. I need to get my green screen up. I'm not.
Wiley, you have a new apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what? I caught like the tail end of this, but you know what? What did that Teletubby Jason Lee do? I told you a couple of months back about him going to DR.
What?
Okay, shaped like a snow cone.
Well, he did lose the weight. This look good now. Jason Lee look real good right now. He looks real good.
He looks, you know what? He's still built like a little Teletubby. You know, his legs are really huge. He looks like Popeye the Sailor Man. You know how Popeye ate the spinach and he was big on the top? He's big on the bottom and small on the top. But I told you about him going to DR.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if it's underage kids, but I know he's getting them very young.
I think he like people in their 20s. You know what I mean? So there ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, you have to make sure you card these people and make sure they're that age. Because you can get in a lot of trouble now.
A whole lot of trouble.
If you're not carding these people and knowing what age they are.
You better card them. I'm just telling you. You better, or just deal with people with, you have to card them. Yes, you're right. You're right about that.
Yes. Now, I missed when you talked about, Wiley, what in the voodoo priestess mess is this Tasha K got herself into with this Sabrina Peterson chick?
Okay. Sabrina called her and was cussing her out. And I'm like, whoa, because she's talking about you're lying. I'm telling the truth. I have real victims. So she was just
I know. You know what? I watched the interview that Tasha did with these women that I think are lovers of hers, okay? And if Tasha's not careful, she'll cast a spell on her and have her with 5 yonis on her forehead. Okay, she'll need Pangea wash for her forehead and downstairs snatch. She better be careful with that Sabrina woman.
You really believe so?
First of all, I don't believe in that crap neither. But, first of all, I think the 2 women that Tasha interviewed were the voodoo priestess lover.
You really believe so?
I believe that, and I think she must have cast a spell on them because they sat there and they acted like they couldn't put 2 sentences together. The one who she sliced up with the razor blade, she kept coughing as if Sabrina was sticking needles in her neck in a voodoo doll. She just was coughing and coughing. She couldn't put 2 sentences together, like she was being stabbed in her neck every time she opened her mouth. They were all lovers, Wiley. And I believe Sabrina and Tiny were lovers behind T.I.'s back.
Wow.
And that's why she wants T.I. out of the picture, so she can have Tiny.
Wow. That's a good point.
Yeah. I just think it's all really disgraceful. But, again, Tasha better be careful with that voodoo priestess before she drops black eggs at her door. Did you hear the girl said that she put black eggs at the business of some lady?
I did hear that.
She'll have Tasha running around chasing imaginary rabbits.
Oh,
yeah, but you know what? I do have a good word about Tasha K's interviews, and I also have constructive criticism. Her setup and her lighting and look is starting to look very professional. I give her that.
Yes.
However, yes, she's starting to have the look of a professional person, but her interviewing skills needs improvement. She's putting the audience asleep. It's like she's stuffy and trying to be one-dimensional.
I just think that she wants.
She appears to.
I don't think she want to offend
Go
the
ahead, I'm
guests.
sorry.
I don't think that she want to offend the guests with all the salacious questions and messy questions. She want to make sure that the guest is comfortable because they can just walk up and leave.
Yeah, but you know what, Wiley? You have to, what she has to do is, it's mostly like she's trying to only find out the bad about a person that she's going after. You know, she's so focused on the person telling all the bad about someone that she forgets to question the integrity of the person that she's talking to.
Mm. Well, I guess
maybe she's just trying to get all the dirt, but the audience is questioning the person's integrity.
Mm-hmm. I remember the last time she interviewed Jaguar, and it didn't come out right. And so ever since that moment, I think that Tasha is very cautious on how she interviewed and making sure that the guest is getting to the meat of it, and she's not being disrespectful in her questioning. So that's what I believe. I don't know. That's how I take it.
No, you know what? And this is very constructive criticism.
Right.
It's nothing bad, but it's something you know she should take a look into. You know, like when the so-called doctor or nurse that claimed she slept with Derek Jackson.
Okay. Yes.
The audience questioned her integrity immediately. You know, and Tasha had no follow-up questions for this woman. You know, she was so laser focused on exposing Derek Jackson, you know, that she had no follow-up questions for the young lady, you know, who was stabbed even by Sabrina Peterson.
Mm.
You know, why not ask her, you know, if she was Sabrina's lover?
Mm.
Or what their relationship is. You know, she needs to probe more. You know, I can find out, did Sabrina even serve time for this?
Mm.
There are a lot of unanswered questions, and she needs to question their integrity so she can stop being sued. You just can't put people up there and just have them just spew out all of this stuff. The first young lady, her eyes were dancing all over the place. That shows me that she's not telling the truth with some of those things. So you have to dig deeper and follow up, have follow-up questions, and at least question the person's integrity.
I feel you on that. We thank you so very much for calling.
You know, instead of being so vanilla and one-dimensional, you know, and she should show more of her personality. Even when you're conducting serious, heavy interviews, you can't ask questions in such a monotone voice. You can lighten it up, you know, with changing your tone a bit. You know, and you can even throw in a joke from time to time to lighten things up.
Oh, yes.
Because the people that she's interviewing are just, they act too nervous, you know?
Because they're on a major.
Holding their hands and things like that.
They're on a major, I would say
I
know they're nervous because it's a major platform and they're nervous for the backlash or etc. But yeah, I'm loving this calm Tasha, this Oprah Winfrey calm Tasha. I love that.
No, it's too boring. I mean, it's good. I don't want her jumping up and down and being so, you know, the way she is when her
It's interviews, but you're getting how I look at it. You're just getting another side of Tasha. That I could be loud when I do my show, breaking down the celebrity gossip, and also I could be calm and cool, collected, asking questions to the guests, and the guests respond. You know, you get that response.
You do, but what
and it's working.
You also have to know what your audience is looking at.
But the audience like it because she's almost
know what your audience is looking
the audience.
At. I'm not saying
I said they like it because she's almost at 1 million right now. You know, because they're there for the guests of the tea, and she's almost at 1 million subscribers right now. So obviously the formula she's doing is working.
Okay, Wiley. I think it was just constructive criticism. Sometimes you have to learn to listen. God gives us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything bad about her.
Okay. You just give it corrective criticism. But when she's loud, when she's like that,
you also have to know what your audience likes.
And then also too,
what your audience is seeing.
And then also too, you can't satisfy everybody because then she could be loud, she could be this, she could be doing all that. Oh no, you do too much. You know, it's dependent upon who is it. So you can't copy everybody. I would say. I believe that. I believe you can't satisfy everybody when you do it. Yeah.
I think there's room for improvement. Mm-hmm. I just think that there's room for improvement. And like I said, everything looks very professional, which she's doing.
Very good. It's
you
very
know, her
professional.
lighting and things like that.
Very
but I
good.
think that she can just use, she can just use a little more oomph.
Yeah.
in her
Well, I
interview.
just think
She's
people,
very
what
monotone, and like
some
I said,
people,
she should definitely question the integrity. You don't think that she should question the integrity of the person that she's talking to? That she should just allow them to talk about like a Derek Jackson or a Sabrina Peterson just because you want to just hear the bad and salacious
I just think
stuff,
you
and
want to.
you don't
I
even
think
know
for
that these
Tasha,
people are telling the truth.
but it's well, again, you're in the business of the reason what the Derek J thing is. He confirmed it, so obviously she did right in that story. And then Sabrina one, it seems to me, Sabrina sounds a little crazy, and the guests coming on say this is the allegation I have, and always Tasha always have other people to confirm this, and other people to confirm that this happened to this woman.
What happened to Sabrina when she stabbed up the woman, and the police came running to the house and even knew it was Sabrina's house? Whatever happened? Did we learn what happened to Sabrina?
I don't know. I don't know that part.
Right.
I don't know that part of the story. Right. So you want to know if she went to jail, a follow up, did she go to jail, did she go to prison, or something like that? Okay, I get your point.
Yes, because she definitely should have went to prison.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely should. But she probably didn't. But again,
you're not telling the whole story. That young lady wasn't telling the whole story.
Okay. All right.
I believe
but again,
I believe they were all lovers.
But if they were lovers, if your lover did that, you ain't calling no cops. You just gonna go to the hospital and call it to the game. If they were lovers, then you ain't gonna call the cops because that's your lover. You know what I'm saying? Even when the last woman that she interviewed and she was with the comedian, I don't think you saw it yet because it's on her Patreon. She was in an abusive relationship, and I didn't really hear her say she went to the cops. And again, because that's the guy she was with, and that's her man and all that. But yeah, thank you for calling in with. It's been a long time.
Yes, and good luck again on your apartment,
Oh,
Wiley.
thank you, indeed.
What's going on? Are you throwing some type of batch?
No, we did. We did a wish list. And it is on Amazon. No, I'm sorry. It's on Amazon. I got to update it because people were just sending me the same stuff that I already got. But yeah, we have a wish list that I'm gonna update. I'm gonna put on the community wall. Yes.
I don't know what all of that stuff is, Wiley.
Oh, wish list.
I'll just send you something.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know what your wish list is. I don't know how to go on community walls. I barely know how to look at things. I just call in.
Okay. Thank you, Wendy.
You know that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You have a good evening now, okay?
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. I love her. She gonna keep it real. 3376, she live on the air. I love her.
Oh my God, Wiley.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, Wiley, this is Couture Bay.
Hey.
Yeah, so your guests just always tickle me. I have nothing to say about Miss Wendy Williams, but as for Jason Lee, that interview with Mob Radio was really good. Jason Lee had no business putting that boy's business out there like that. I don't even understand why he did it. When I saw the interview and people kept sharing it with me, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. Like, how did we get here? Just to find out.
Hey, when you on that bingo, they be spilling tea over there. Is it bingo or B-Joe, whatever how you pronounce it?
I think it's Biggo.
Biggo?
That's where
Biggo?
MC Shaky and them.
Biggo?
Yeah, Biggo. Like B-I-G-O. B-I-G-O.
Biggo. Okay.
Biggo, something like that. But you know what? I thought you would be over there because that's where the boys be.
Child, I'm not that messy. I'm retired from that. What they do is for the young folk. I have outgrown that. I would say that right now. I cannot see myself because they over there real messy.
Oh, they are. You know, MC Shaky's man was out here in these streets just spilling his tea. It was just Big Frida. It was Big Frida.
Big Frida
But either way,
ex-boyfriend?
her dusty man was Big O, naked. I thought
Oh my!
Shaky shared it, so I was just,
Oh my
yeah,
God!
messy over there.
Is he still with? Is he still with? Fucking not fucking that nigga. Is he still with? Is he still with her? But
Yeah.
Okay.
The broke man, yeah. So
Wow.
I was just like, oh my God. But that was a really good interview, and they are messy over there. I don't have it, but I can see it when the babies see me. I'll be like, oh no, this is too much. I don't have I can't keep up. Also for the what was the story? For Lil Nas X mother, we need to, as Black people, we need to learn how to cut ties. You know, it's not his responsibility to take care of his mom. He did the best he can do. She doesn't want the help. She wants to choose her addiction over her successful son. Her son is out here making something of himself despite of who she is, and she's still choosing substance as a way of coping instead of getting the help. I just say, if you're in a situation like that, y'all gotta let it go. Sometimes you have to cut people off, like Mariah Carey, in order to achieve the fame that you need, the notoriety and everything else, because they will become a hindrance. How many of Black people are going through that right now, taking care of an addict? You know, all these men just passed away this weekend, addicts. And you know, people are doing GoFundMes and begging their kids to come to the funeral and whatnot. No, you don't know what kind of turmoil and hurt people are causing. So you just got to free yourself of that. And that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. All right.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so we want to thank everybody for calling in. Also, too, make sure y'all thumbs up the video and leave us a comment. Yes, let us know how it is. Thank you, everybody that sent us a cash app today. We want to personally thank you all so very much. And when we get that bid, we're going to definitely show it. Somebody loved you, your eye, in my humble opinion. Thank you so very much for that. And another person, thank you for super chats. Thank y'all so much for the cash apps as well. So I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.